Hi, guys. Welcome to your favorite podcast, Chiquis and Chill. If you're interested in learning, growing, and glowing, this is the perfect podcast for you. And speaking of growing and glowing, today we're going to talk about self-confidence. I'm going to talk about how my confidence has evolved over the years, how it's helped me in different areas of my life, and I'm going to give you tips on how you can become more confident too. I wrote a bunch of notes, so I'm going to be going back to them. I wrote them this morning to prepare because it's something very important. First of all, I felt that I wanted to talk about this because I see a lot of people on social media with confidence, but I wonder, is it real confidence? Because I was also on that side before. And I'll explain that in a little bit. But also, I want you guys to know we are all born with this crazy amount of confidence. Okay, we are born perfect in the most perfect essence. Even if you have any type of disability, God made us the way He made us in His perfect divine, realm. But what happens as we start going to school, as we start going on social media, people's opinions, it just starts making us less and less confident, and it pushes us further and further away from our essence, our true essence. It happened to me. I think the first person that affected my confidence was my mom and my dad, actually. And in reality, like when you start doing healing, deep healing, you start realizing that a lot of this stuff starts in our childhood, in our homes. And it's not that our parents are bad. It's just that they didn't know any better. And now we are being awakened and people are now starting to realize certain things, but our parents and their parents didn't have these tools. And I had to learn that. And when I learned that, I was able to let go and forgive my mom, right? Again, she wasn't a bad mother. She was just doing her best. She was 15 when she had me. And her father affected her a lot with weight and appearance. And my grandfather also affected my grandmother. So it was just like a ripple domino effect. And so my mother in our household, weight was huge. And I was always told, like, I have to be on a diet or I have to like work out. And my mom was she didn't want us to go through what she went through, but she didn't know how to vocalize it. She only knew how to be very direct and straightforward. And sometimes it was hurtful, So I think that's where it started for me, that I had to like be conscious about my weight. And then as I got older and started dating, the boyfriends would be like, "Oh, you look great. You're beautiful." And then it just kind of like poured into my cup of confidence. And I was like, "Yeah, I am beautiful, no matter what size I am. Even if my arms are a little thicker than other girls and my thighs too, like my mom says, it's okay. He likes it. I'm okay, and I just started kind of giving myself self-therapy. And again, I started therapy at 12. So I think doing therapy for that long also helped. But I get older. And yeah, of course, down the road, there's a guy that tells you, you know what, get your ass to running. You're a little too chubby, whatever. And that hurts you. But for me personally, I didn't really realize I was as big as I was until I started singing, till I started coming out on television. And then it got worse after my mom passed away because I was depressed and I was just eating my feelings. And I gained weight and I didn't even realize it. And I didn't even think I was that big until everyone just started calling me fat and Miss Piggy on social media. And then I was like, oh, wait, I guess I am kind of big. Television doesn't help. And that's when a lot of stuff started happening. I was pretty confident and I would wear my wardrobe very confidently. It wasn't that I was faking. It wasn't until after I would watch my performance or I would read the comments that I was like, damn, I guess I didn't look as good as I felt. I would look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I look good. But then you let other people's opinions and their criticism and judgment come in and it just starts messing shit up, and it happened to me. And it happened like that back and forth for years, guys, until I was, I think, 36. I was already like a year in with Emilio, my now husband. And he just made me feel like the most beautiful girl in the world. But I was also on my healing journey when I had first met him. I was looking inward, and that helped me a lot. I was meditating and all that stuff. And then he came into my life and just showered me with compliments. And it's funny because we were just literally talking about it a few days ago that he seriously didn't realize either that I was bigger or that I was, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. He's like, no one told me, and I know I've mentioned that here on the podcast, but it's true. It's for real. And I think that also helped me a lot. But I was already on my healing journey. And that's what I want to share with you guys. The things that I've learned that have helped me be more confident. Because now that I've lost weight, when I had first lost weight, I did feel a little insecure about other things. It wasn't about like the clothes was fitting me better, but I had like, loose skin on my arms. I didn't really know how to dress myself because I always wanted to wear baggy clothes. But then I was like, okay, I can't wear baggy clothes. It was just an adjustment that I didn't know. And then I don't know. It was crazy. Now though, now I feel a lot better. But it has to do with the work that I've done within myself, my inner work. And I think once you do your inner work mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you radiate different. And a lot of people think it's because of Emilio. And yes, it helps to have a good partner that loves you, flaws and all, because I have scars and I have things, I have cellulite, I have things that used to bother me. And I swear to you now, I wear a bathing suit and I have cellulite and I have scars and I can give 2 Fs. I was telling him the other day, I'm like, it feels so good to finally not care. And you know why? Because now more than ever, I've always known who I was, even when at my biggest, okay? But now I've just really just dug deep. And now I really, really, really know who I am. And I'm okay with a lot of the things. And I'm okay with things that have happened in my past. And that has really helped me a lot, even in my relationship. Even if there's a beautiful, thin, perfect looking girl next to us and Emilio's there and he never is disrespectful and stares, but we both look, I'm like, damn, she's beautiful. And he'll be like, yeah, she's okay. He'll never like be disrespectful, but I don't feel jealous. I don't feel worried. And it has to do with the way he loves me, but it also has to do with the way I love myself now. So that's what we're going to talk about. Okay. And this is where my notes come in. And Brianna and Pablo, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat so that I can make sure I answer them. Okay, those are my producers, guys. They're here with us all the time. You just don't hear them or see them. But okay, talking about spirituality. Okay, I wrote a bunch of these things down this morning because I was like, okay, wait, where did it happen? Where did it start? And I started like thinking back and really realizing where it started in school and how other girls dress and they have this and they have that. And you feel that that's what confidence is. Like if I wear something that's expensive or they have better shoes than I do, then that's going to make me more attractive. Absolutely not. Confidence has nothing to do, guys, with the car that you drive, with the jewelry you have on, with the expensive clothes, with the house you live in. Absolutely not. And if it is, we have a problem. If those are the things that move you, materialistic things, then there is something that is not connected and disconnected, in my opinion. And I know a few of those people, and I won't say anyone's name, but I pray for them because that's not where the true value comes from. It's not from things, because those things will disappear. You can lose those things tomorrow. They can be taken away from you tomorrow. And if that's what you are basing your value and your confidence and your inner security on, it's a very, very scary and it's not a place you want to be. Anyway, spiritual foundation, absolutely 100% very important. Okay? Connect to something bigger than yourself. God, the universe, higher self, a santo, whatever, higher, bigger than yourself, because there is, okay? When you start thinking that you're bigger and better than everyone else and nothing can stop you and stuff like that, God is going to sit your ass down. Trust me. I've seen it happen. And that's something that I'm like, Every day I kneel and I'm like, God, Thank you for everything that I have, because tomorrow I may not have this house that you've given me the privilege and the blessing to live in, because I don't know what tomorrow looks like. But I'm grateful right now that I have it. Thank you. And I bow down and I humble myself before a higher power. And that is so important. It's life changing. Daily affirmations or mantras, speaking life into yourself. Okay. Gratitude practice, being grateful. I just talked about that. Being grateful for things that, yes, you worked hard for. But again, there is a higher power that is giving you that. People are like, I have to go work. I have to go work. No, you get to go work. Thank God you have a job. Thank God you're getting paid. Thank God that with that money, you're able to pay your bills and buy yourself the coffee, because there are people that aren't able to work. We're living in a very dark time, and I will say that it's dark. And us people of light, and I will include myself because I feel like I was brought here to bring light to the world, are being called forward because it's a really crazy time right now. And that's why I wanted to start off with spiritual foundation, because we need to be grateful, guys. There are a lot of people going through a lot of difficult things all over the world. And it's so sad to know that people are starving and being starved and having to worry about if they're going to have a home or not because it might get bombed. And I'm not going to go into all of that right now because it's something that's very difficult for me. And I know there's two sides and it's just so messed up either way. But we need to be grateful. And remember, guys, to be grateful every single day, even for the water that we drink, for the food that we have, that all that stuff, being grateful brings confidence from depths of your soul, not exterior fake confidence that we put up for the world because it looks pretty on Instagram. Been there, done that. I don't ever want to go back there. Meditation and prayer. So important. And I'm a huge advocate for it every single time, every day, all day long, because it has saved my life. Waking up, being intentional, even if it's hard to wake up before work or before whatever you have to do, praying, getting on your knees. It doesn't have to be a long time. I do 45 minutes. You don't have to do that. Journaling helps. Whatever the practice is, but it's just sitting in silence and praying and thanking God and just being grateful, again, in something higher and bigger than yourself. It brings a lot of humility and it allows you to be grounded and remind yourself that this world, this life, this body is a gift, and it helps you treat it differently. So prayer and meditation, guys. Grounding yourself in inner peace. Huge. Now let's move on to physical and health. Move your body. Exercise isn't just for aesthetics. It releases endorphins and makes you feel stronger. I like to work out. Of course, I want to look better. We all want to look better. Of course, I get that. That doesn't make you vain. No. And you getting Botox and getting surgeries and stuff doesn't make you vain. That's as long as you have this, your inner self, your inner power aligned, it's fine. Do whatever you want. I'm fine with that. But I work out because it really gives me mental clarity and it makes me feel more confident because I'm doing something good for myself. I'm treating my body good. And when you treat your body good and you do what's best for it, and instead of eating that bag of hot Cheetos, because I love hot Cheetos, but they're not good for you. And that's just the truth. And I'm sorry for all the hot Cheeto eating girls here and boys, but they're just not good for you. And I used to eat them all the time until I said, this is not good for my body. And I want to treat my body better because if I treat my body better, if I take care of what takes care of me, I'm going to be happier. And it's made a huge difference. I'll have a hot Cheeto here and there, maybe 2 or 3, but not the whole bag and not all the time because it's just not good for me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to drink soda. It's not good for me. I can drink electrolytes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really getting to that point of I want to work out and I want to eat well to fuel my body because it takes care of me and to treat it well because it deserves that, because it's holding my spirit. And I need to be grateful for the body that God has given me. And hydration, nutrition, I talked about sleep, guys, is super important. When you're sleep deprived, when you don't give your body that time to sleep, to rest, to regenerate, you're irritable. You get frustrated a lot faster. You're tired. You can't perform to your best potential. And I've learned and I've shared it here. In 2018, I had a meltdown. It was bad. And until I realized that sleep is a part of my job and a part of my well-being. And yes, I wake up at 5 in the morning, but I make sure I get like at least 6, 7 hours of sleep, if not more. And the days that I need to rest, like a Sunday, I don't need to work out. It makes the biggest difference in the world, guys. Like where I'm like, I'm not going to work out. I'm going to rest. My body needs to rest. Listen to your body. Breath work helps a lot, guys. That's another thing. But again, this all goes with physical health, nutrition, and all that stuff. And hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying because it's really important to me. And it took me a long time to learn this. And I wish I would have known in my 20s, to be honest. But you know what? I learned, I evolved, and now I'm here and I'm able to share these things with you guys. But please, drinking water is so important right now because I was like the type of person that didn't drink soda. And I met Emilio and he's more of a soda drinker. And I've even gotten him to drink less soda. And now I'm like, I want water. My body needs water. My body is made of water and I need to just replenish and help myself, So just that's one thing. Start with water and move your body a little bit and sweat, releasing those toxins. Okay, now mindset and inner work kind of goes with the spiritual and obviously physical. It all is all connected, guys. Okay, so shift from perfectionism to progress. Okay, celebrate the small wins because we're very hard on ourselves. At least I am. I've been very hard on myself most of my life. I'm like, damn, I could have done better or I should have done this. Now I'm like, okay, I did it. I did what I could and that's okay. I'm listening to my body and not everything has to be perfect because that puts a lot of pressure on you and on other people around you. And just trust the process and celebrate those small wins, guys. It makes a big difference. Replace negative self-talk with compassionate self-talk. Be compassionate with yourself. Definitely will help. And just say, it's okay. It's all right. You made this mistake 5 years ago. Why are you still thinking about it? It's okay. You learned. You're growing. Get out of that mindset. We all make mistakes. I mentioned journaling earlier. Again, I have a whole episode on journaling, guys. Go back to that episode because journaling is therapy. So if therapy is not in your budget right now, journaling will definitely help. Face fears little by little. A lot of people get afraid of things and they walk away and they let fear paralyze them. I did too for a long time until I said, you know what? I'm going to face this fear, whatever it may be, and I'm going to do it. And I know that I'm safe and I know my heart and it's okay. I'm in God's hands and I'm going to do this with fear and I'm going to breathe through it because confidence grows through action, guys. Remember that. Confidence grows through actions, doing things that make you feel a little uncomfortable, that cause you a little discomfort, a little bit of butterflies in your stomach, and you still do it. That's when you know, I'm on the right track. I'm doing it. I did it. Feeling accomplished and feeling like you achieved something that you didn't think was possible because of fear. Then you're like, I got this. So self-image and presentation, guys. Dress in a way that makes you feel good. Now we're getting a little bit into the exterior part of things, but is also important. Dress in a way that makes you feel good, not just look good. Okay? I used to love to show my booty. And in the moment, it was cool, whatever. Now I look back and I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, it's a little cringe, It's like, I wanted everything to be tight. Now I'm like, I want to be comfortable. I want to wear something that expresses who I am. And I present myself in a way that I want people to see me. I need to be really careful with that for me now in this present moment, because this was different last year even, and I used to dress to make other people look at me in a certain way or to accept me. And now I'm like, I want to be comfortable. I want to look good. And if it's weird to other people, then so be it. I'm happy. And that's all that matters. And that didn't come until just recently. Again, until I started doing all of my deep, deep healing with my medicine, my indigenous plant medicine. But yeah, that is something that'll come with time. But not only being comfortable, but that makes you feel good. Grooming and self care routines as acts of self love. Okay. I get my nails done almost weekly, bi weekly. That is something that is important to me. I want my feet to be soft. I want my nails to be done. I want to feel good. I want to make sure my hair is washed. And if I have dandruff, then I want to wash it out. Like I don't want to walk around with greasy ass hair. And if I do, I a little dry shampoo and just doing things like that that just raise your confidence. Because if you're all slumpy and you're dressing and you haven't showered or like you don't really care about your appearance, that's gonna make you feel worse. And I'm telling you because I've been there. When I was depressed, I didn't shower. I think the longest had been like 4 days. And I was depressed and my hair was crazy. It was crazy. Again, I give myself grace and I look back on that. I'm like, okay, I needed to go through that because I was in my cocoon. I was in my cocoon and now I'm like, okay, I never want to go back there. So I'm learning from that. So make sure you take care of yourself and you smell good and you put lotion on your body and you put on perfume and just things that like you're like, yeah. You put on some perfume and you walk out, even if you're going to the market, like it just feels like I care about myself. And I take the time to take care of myself and do those little things that make me feel good and my body feel good. And it just really sets the tone and changes everything. Body language. Again, this is all exterior stuff. When you see someone sitting with their back slouched and just like, yeah, I guess, life, whatever, it might make you feel like, are they happy? But if you see someone just sitting up a little bit and kind of like, hey, I feel good. I'm here. I'm ready. Mi frente está lo alto, like I'm seeing the world and I want the world to see me as a confident being. Of course, if you're feeling sad, then feel sad. I am also like, I embrace that and I celebrate you embracing and enduring those moments of sadness because that's part of growth. But standing tall, eye contact, guys, is huge. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you do it, the more confidence it gives you as a person. When you say hello and you give a handshake and you look someone in the eyes and you're like, hi, how are you? Very nice to meet you. You give them a little squeeze. A lot is said without it being said in a handshake and how you talk to people. If you don't look them in the eye and you're just like shy and stuff, I get shyness. I get it. But little by little, just try it. Be like, okay, hi, I'm here. I want you to see my soul and I want to see yours. And I want you to know because I have nothing to hide and I'm not ashamed of anything. Here's my face. Here are my eyes. Here's my handshake. It really will help you train your mind. So try it. Okay, moving on. Environment and relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Okay. I used to hang out with people that would point out the things that weren't beautiful about me and would make me feel even less beautiful. Friends, family, yeah. Bye. I want you to tell me the truth. That doesn't mean lie to me, okay? But if you have to tell me something and you have to be honest with me, it could be in a nice way. Call it sugarcoating, call it whatever you want, but you can be honest with someone and direct and firm in a loving way. Distance yourself from toxic comparison. Take social media detoxes, okay, when needed. I've done it and it does help a little bit if you feel that social media can be a bit overwhelming and stuff like that. Like that will help you just kind of detach yourself and just recharge and reconnect with yourself. But definitely distance yourself from toxicity and from toxic comparison. That is also something that my mom would do. And it did affect my relationship with my sister, for instance. There was like a lot of comparison and that's not good. Obviously I didn't distance myself from my sister because I know that we're different and that's okay. But I'm sure my mom would have corrected it by now. It's just, we were young and whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Okay. Build a tribe community that reflects your values. Okay. I used to waste my time with a lot of BS, with a lot of people that were, I guess, call them cool or in the cool crowd. I have my friends that I've had for years. If you are not pouring into my cup and allowing me to pour into your cup, and it's like a reciprocated type of relationship, I don't want it. I want to sit at a table where we're thinking about ideas and happy things and not just chismeando and talking about other people and stuff like that. Like, no, like I did it, don't want to do it. Of course, you're going to talk about, hey, what this person, but then it's like, let's stop it. Stop it right here. I'm getting better at also telling people at tables, like if there's someone they're talking about that's not present, I'm getting better with this. It's been very hard, but I'm getting better with it where I'm like, you know what? That person's not here right now. I don't think it's cool for us to talk about them. Let's talk about something else. And, like uh, changing the energy around, like you want to surround yourself with people that want the same things that you do. That also builds a lot of confidence because you're surrounding yourself with that energy and it's important. And then now I feel like I'm questioning certain relationships in my life, friendships as well, because I'm like, oh, does that person kind of like, I don't need them to be on my same frequency, but we got to be at least in the same chapter. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be on the same page, but please be on the same chapter with me because if not, it's like, I don't want to divert. I don't want to detour. Here's a big one, guys. This one's the one that changed my life. And I need you to hear me because when I realized what my purpose was, and I really leaned into that, and I was in alignment with that, that has changed my life. And I think this is where the real confidence has come from. And what you guys see, because I've gotten a lot of messages from people telling me that I look different, that I'm glowing, that I feel like the old Janae, or my sister just told me the other day, I showed her my new music, Janica, and she's like, oh my goodness, this is you. What? Like, I remember when you were like driving your little buggy in Corona and listening to this and that type of music, like this is that. And I was like, yes, I'm in alignment. I'm living my purpose. I came back to myself. And that's important, guys, when you know why you're here, because we are all here for a reason. Big or small or whatever, we are all here for a reason. And we're all here to change the world and help the world in some way. And leaning into it and getting into alignment with that will change your life. And that just happened for me this year. I know it's crazy. Like I've been doing Dear Chiquis and Chill and everything, and I've been inspiring you guys, and it hasn't been from a fake place because everything I do, I mean. And I'm always really honest with you guys. And I'm like, this is a note for myself as well. Like I need to remind myself of this because this is work. This isn't just you're going to learn this and you're going to like be healed and forever. Like, no, this is forever. This is a process. And you have to learn, like I said earlier, you have to learn to trust the process and celebrate those small wins and know that sometimes you're going to fall off track. Like it happens to me. And that's what happened to me. Like I was like, wait. I didn't know that I even had a band over my eyes until it was removed. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, no wonder something didn't feel right. And it was my soul calling and saying, girl, wake up, wake up. And I have a song called that, Despiértate, or Despierta. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Anyway, knowing why gives confidence, okay? You're living with direction. Why are you here? What do you want to leave in this world? If you were to leave tomorrow, are you proud of what imprint you left in this world and how you help people? Did you show up as your best? You got to ask yourself those questions. And once you know your why, it will help you find your way. And I feel like in certain seasons of my life, it's happened. I have found my way and my why in that season. And then it's over. And it's like, again, we're evolving and we're changing constantly. So that's not to say that my confidence back then was fake or what I was telling you guys was fake. No, it's just I have a newfound, deeper confidence and a more of an alignment. And that's where I'm singing from. That's how I'm dressing. That's how I'm expressing myself, is because it's different. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just had an epiphany. Setting achievable goals and follow through. Each win builds self-trust, okay? So what does that mean? For instance, let's just use weight because I think weight is a huge thing for us. And a lot of people feel not confident because we're focusing so much on our weight and our exterior. But if you set small goals, short-term goals, and say, you know what, I'm going to lose 5 pounds from here to in 3 months. realistic goals and achieving those small goals, they will really help you with the bigger ones. Like once you feel like, oh, I accomplished, because you have to set those small ones before you can move on to the next step. If you set too much of a big goal, it's very likely that you won't achieve it because it's difficult. And setting those small ones will definitely help you with the larger ones. Hopefully that made sense. But anywho, align your actions with your values for authentic confidence. I'm gonna read that again. I sure did write that. I was like, oh, hold up. Align your actions with your values for authentic confidence. And I think that is what was happening with me, guys. I wasn't aligning my values with my authentic self. I was myself, but I was doing things more to please other people and following other people's direction and not allowing my inner confidence and my authentic self shine. And now I am. Now I'm like, wait a second, no. If there's something in my music that I don't like now, you better believe I'm going to say, hey, can we change this? Even if it's a pain in the butt. Before I was like, oh, I don't want to bother them or they're going to think I'm a pain in the ass. Like, I'm sorry, but this is my music. This is my true self. And I have to live with this forever. So I'm going to make these changes and I need you to make the changes. And if you're not, then you're not the person that I'm meant to work with. Like, that's just where I'm at. And I'm aligning myself with my values and it's allowing me to radiate and shine in a different way, completely different. And I look back on Chiquis 5 years ago, last year, and I'm like, I love what I did. And I kind of miss those things, but I'm like, was I truly happy? Was I really living my true purpose? And maybe I was, because that was part of what I had to do to get here. So I don't regret any of it. I love it all. And that's not to say that I'm not going to wear some booty shorts on stage in a few years. I might, I may not, I don't know. But right now, I'm living what I need to live. So that was huge. When I wrote that, I was like, damn, I get it. And I wrote something as well about confidence because obviously we're talking about confidence. So confidence doesn't always look the same throughout our lives. Sometimes it's louder, sometimes it's quieter, and sometimes we have to rebuild it after people put ideas in our heads. What I've learned is that real confidence isn't about how people see you. It's about how you see yourself and how you treat yourself. And that's where the alignment comes in, right? Of aligning your values. Also, talking about my weight and stuff from earlier, because I was like, I want to make sure I read this so I don't forget. For me, confidence really started growing when I got okay with myself. All of me. The good, the bad, the messy. When I stopped lying, even little lies, and stopped pretending to be someone I'm not. It gave me this whole new type of confidence because when you're not hiding anything, you feel free. I feel free, y'all. You don't have to be perfect. And when you're willing to admit your mistakes out loud, it makes you stronger, not weaker. That's when I realized my confidence doesn't come from looking perfect on the outside, but from knowing I'm real on the inside. And I think I'll leave it with that. I'll end this episode with that because I think that just kind of sums everything up for us. And I always like to use my personal experiences because that's what this podcast is all about. It's Chiquis and Chill. I'm chilling with y'all and I'm telling you guys my truth because that's the only way that I can help you is by expressing my own experiences, my own adversities, and not only outside adversities and obstacles, but those that come from within that I have created and I have self-destructed with my mind by thinking too much, overthinking too much, and not putting things into action. And now I am doing, not just thinking and saying, I am doing. And all of those things build immense confidence. And I will tell you, I am very proud of how far I've come and how I have been able to get through every season of my life because it's true. Confidence looks different in every year. We're different. I mean, we have to accept that we come from change. And I can tell you that I am a different person, even with this relationship I'm in, with this marriage, and being more willing and open to hearing not so good things about myself. I'm not always the best version of myself. I try every day, and it's a lot easier to bounce back, but there are days when I'm not my best, and my husband has to tell me. And now I'm able to hear it. And not only hear it, but act and say, okay, I love you and I want to be better and I'm going to change this for you, for myself, and for us. It's made me become a better sister. I feel like I am a lot better with understanding their process and knowing that they're older and that things change, even in relationships that you thought would never, that we were tight as heck and nothing could ever come between us. And not that they have, it's just the dynamic has changed. And it's helped me accept that. And it's helped me understand it and understand them, because now I know who I am. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know who I am. I'm good. I'm chilling. I have to allow them to figure that out if they haven't already and not take things personally. And it's helped me a lot. All of these things that we talked about have just helped align me as a better musician, a better songwriter. I trust myself now, what I want to write about. And I'm like, I know the answer. It's in me. God lives in me as me, and he's speaking to me. So I have to trust that. So it has really helped me in every area. I feel like I'm a better boss. I'm able to communicate and tell my employees, hey, I don't like this, fix this. And I'm not mean, I'm just direct, because I have more confidence in who I am and the things that I want. And I'm not afraid of speaking my truth in a loving way. And that has helped me quite a bit. Okay, guys, I love you. Thank you for listening. Go out there and be confident. Okay? True confidence. Here we go. Woo! I love you guys. Catch you on the next episode of Chiquis and Chill. Te amo. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.